Welcome to Tackett's House of Horsepower. It's me, Steve Tackett. We're gonna keep going on a little 65 because September's getting closer and closer. So we gotta bust this thing out. It's one of the vehicles I wanna take to Duct Tape Drags. So this thing has to be running, driving, and legal for the track, making passes in just a couple weeks. So I got a lot of work to do. All right, so where are we at with this thing? Well, I'll tell you. I'm still waiting on a transmission. I don't want to talk about it. So I can't put the transmission in yet, but we need to figure out this rear end. We gotta you know what? I need to go shopping. And by shopping, I mean dig through the shed out back. Cause I've got gas tanks, I've got suspension parts, I think I've got a set of springs with bushings in it. I'm thinking we work back here, you know, because seriously, like, have you seen this? What are those? What are those? Yeah, that's unacceptable. So why do people do that? So let's talk about this for a second. You know, the more you jack this back up here, the more you raise the back end, the more you push the center of gravity forward. So you put more and more weight on the front tires, which is not conducive for drag racing purposes. So that's got to go. So we got springs with bushings. We're gonna get rid of those. Maybe find a gas tank and hook up the fuel system. We could start there. Dig through the shed, AKA my shopping center, and see what we can put on this car today. Well, that was a successful shopping trip out to the shed. The only problem is that metal shed out there is about 2,000 degrees inside there. So I almost died. Anyways, I got coolant overflow bottles. They're just catch cans though. They're like not, you know, it'll spit it out and catch it, that's it. It's not gonna fill it back to the radiator when it cools off, but that's okay. That's all you need to be legal to pass tech. Somebody asked about slapper bars, and I said, yeah, I think I do have a set. So whoever it was that commented in the comments about slapper bars, I found them, along with a new set of springs with stock shackles and polyurethane bushings. They're used, but they're like brand new. So we're gonna use them, and we'll get rid of those weird, tall, whatever they got going on back there. So we'll put the shackles back to stock with a set of springs, and I found a gas tank. The only problem is it's missing a sending unit. So I don't know if I might check with O'Reilly's. Maybe they can get me one. If not, I'll have to order one tonight. But anyways, I got a gas tank, I got suspension, and a coolant overflow bottle. So, hey, and it cost me about 5 buckets of sweat in the shed. Other than that, this is all stuff I had. So we got stuff to do now. All right, let's start with something kind of easy because I need a break. I'm gonna go ahead and throw one of these in. I'm gonna use the white one. I think it's in a little better shape. The rubber bushings or seals and stuff look like they're in a little better shape. So I need to drill some holes, mount this guy somewhere down here. That should work. And then we'll run a hose off of there over to here, and we should be legal. All you gotta do is measure the distance between the holes. Looks like about 3.5. I'll mark them down here. I'm gonna use that existing hole right there. So I'll come off of that 3.5 inches, mark it somewhere up here, and then a couple quarter 20 bolts, and we'll have ourselves a coolant overflow bottle. There it is, a couple of bolt holes, and it's good to go. But of course, wouldn't you know, I don't have enough 5/16. Figures. So it looks like I gotta run to O'Reilly's anyways. So let me get some hose, and I'll see if they have a fuel tank sending unit too. Might as well. And maybe pick up something for lunch. Something from the Mexican food place. Of course. Well, you already know. O'Reilly's had the hose I need and the fuel tank sending unit in 3/8, but it's at the Phoenix hub, so it's on order, it's on the way. Meanwhile, you know, I got to take care of this. It's nap time. No, I'm just kidding. I guess we'll start on these springs, since the sending unit won't be here till like 4:30 or something like that. So I guess we could put these springs and shackles in and new bushings, get the old ones out of there, and we'll hold off on the gas tank. So bear with me. Oh yeah, coolant overflow catch can is finished. Now this is not my preferred method. I prefer an overflow tank where the hose is on the bottom and the vent is on the top. That way it'll spit it out and suck it back up when it cools off. This is just a catch can, so it's only gonna spit it out. But this is fine, it's legal, it'll pass tech. Make sure you put hose clamps on it. They will call you out for it, especially at Firebird if you don't have it. But this will pass tech. All you need is a catch can, hose clamps, everything has to be secure, but that's finished. Check it off the list. Now, let's roll this car. I'm gonna roll it in a little bit, get away from that scorching heat out there. Roll it inside a little bit. We'll get this thing jacked up and we'll start pulling these old springs out. Somebody came along and said, I'm gonna put new shackles on this car, but I'm just gonna leave the old bushings. That's fine. That looks good. This car also, once upon a time, had side exhaust. You can tell there's an exhaust hanger that somebody stuck in here right in front of the rear tire. So it had side exhaust, and somebody notched the plate. I'm thinking it used to have slapper bars on it too, because you got to notch this plate to get the bar to fit right here. So somebody, and you can see the nub was hitting right there. See that indentation? So somebody was attempting to race this car at some point. You know what I mean? It's fun to try to look at this stuff and then try to, you know, kind of figure out the history of the car, you know, by looking at stuff like that. And you think, you know, somebody was, you know, having some fun with this car at some point. All right, custom side exhaust mount removed. They did not want this thing to come loose. Look at that. Wow. They really did not want it to come loose. It shouldn't be too bad. Just 2 bolts there. You got 4 bolts there. 1, 2, 3, 4. A shock. And then the bolts up in the front there on each side. And then this thing should drop right out of here. I'm gonna go ahead and hit everything with WD-40, because I'm guessing by the look of those bushings, this has probably never been apart ever. So those look original. So it's probably never been apart. At least not the fronts. Hit everything. There we go. It's gonna fight me all the way off, most likely. Every time I roll this car or push this car, I hear a funny noise, and I thought it was something in this drum brake over here on the passenger side. So just now I went ahead and spun it, and I think I figured out what's making the noise. Watch this. It's supposed to do that. That doesn't seem right. I already took the shock bolt out. Now I just gotta get 4 bolts right here. All right, those 4 bolts come out. This plate drops. Basically, the rear end is free floating. Now, I just gotta get these old shackles out of here, or these, whatever these shackles are, get them out of here. And the spring should be able to pull right out. Okay, I got the old shackle out. Pop the old bushings out. I got the old spring out. Take a look at these bushings. You can see how the hole is elongated, kind of egg-shaped, and you see where the plate was sitting, right? You're not using the whole face of the bushing. See how much of the bushing is sticking out all the sides? So when this thing goes around corners, or any kind of side-to-side force is causing this thing to flex like this, the bushing's not able to hold it. You're relying on the hole to do all the work, and it's putting a lot of pressure on a small amount of the bushing, right? Now look at this one. That's gonna cover the whole bushing. So this is gonna use the entire face of the bushing. So this is gonna resist side-to-side movement quite a bit better than this will. So not only is it longer, and of course, the longer you make it, the more unstable it gets, but you're killing your bushing. I mean, it's just terrible. These are not good for any reason at all. Like, it's just not good. Like, there's no, why, don't use these. Don't use these. If you're gonna lengthen them, that's fine. Get something that's gonna use the whole face of the bushing. You know, that's gonna make it more stable. That's not good. Especially down here. Look at, see how it's splitting right here. This thing is just flexing, and this bushing is not able to hold it. And again, the hole's getting egg-shaped. bushing is just not able to do its job. So this car, like, if it was to get sideways or, you know, try to take a corner faster than 20 miles an hour, you know, the rear, it's just, the rear end is probably flexing back and forth quite a bit. You just don't know it. So go with that. Now, before I slide that new spring in, I want to clean up these old bolts. This bolt here in the front, it's got this big cup on it, and that kind of goes into a hole right there, and that kind of centers it. That lip right there, that centers the bolt into that cup, or into the hole. Anyways, you want to clean that up. You want this bolt to be clean because it's going to go into this steel tube, and the steel tube goes into the front bushing right here, right? And you want that to, you know, when the spring moves up and down, you want that to move freely on this bolt. So you want to clean that up. See all this scaly, rusty nastiness? We're going to hit this with a wire wheel, so it'll go into this hole nice and smooth, and it'll be free moving. Oh, and put plenty of grease on it, on the bolt and on the face of this, on the face of that bushing, because otherwise it'll squeak. Okay, I got the front bolt in there. It's just loose though. It's just holding it up right now. I'm gonna lift it up and slide these in. These are like brand new. Look at this. This is the correct hardware. It should be attached to the bolt should be attached to one on each side of the shackle like that. So this is the correct hardware, the correct shackle, and some polyurethane bushings. So this is a pretty good improvement over what was in here. All right, one side down, one to go. And when I put these together, I didn't mention this earlier, but when I put these together, you want to tighten them down until they just touch. You don't need to like tighten those to 9 million foot-pounds until the bushings are squishing out the sides. You don't need to do that. You want that to move freely. So you don't want it so tight that it's binding up, you know what I mean? So anyways, all new hardware's in, bushings, spring, good to go. Now, just take care of this side. And then maybe the gas tank today. I don't know. It is 9 trillion degrees, so I might do the gas tank in the morning. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Let me get this side done, and then we'll see how much energy I have left. All right, so I got it unbolted down there. I got that plate off already. And I want you to see this. Now check this out. These bolts are tight. Look at the washer, okay? They're tight, okay? Watch this. Watch the side-to-side movement. See it? That's what I'm talking about. These soft rubber bushings, and there's not a lot of contact surface between what's left of the bushing and this metal plate. So there's no chance that this thing can stay stable. It's just got a ton of movement. So you see that? That's gonna just let the rear end just sway back and forth. So that's why we're doing this right there. Okay, I think I'm ready to set it down. We got both sides in there. Looking good. No more side-to-side movement, that's for sure. So let's set it down and give it a bounce test. Okay. Put this block back before it rolls away. And it's sitting pretty nice too. I like that. When I put a 15-inch rim on it, it's going to be just right at the edge there of the wheel lip. Perfect. Now, I didn't do the slapper bars yet. The rear end's going to have to come back out to get rebuilt. Obviously, we're going to put a set of gears in it and a posi. And I want to put U-bolts in it to get rid of those little bolts, the stock plate and bolt setup. So, anyways, the rear end's going to have to come back out, and I'll put those in when I do that. And I never went up to O'Reilly's to pick up that sending unit. So I'll go grab that in the morning, and we'll put the gas tank in it, sending unit in the gas tank in the car, hook up the fuel line and the filler neck. And then I think I'm about out of parts again. So hopefully some stuff shows up soon. But anyways, I gotta clean up, push everything inside, and take a shower because I am stinky, nasty, sweaty, gross. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the morning. Good morning. We're back. It's already hot, huh? Is it hot? I know. I'm sorry. Well, I ran up to O'Reilly's, got me my sending unit. So they have two, the FG90A and B. The A is the 5/16, the B is the 3/8. So, in case anybody's wondering, I also grabbed some clamps and a filter. So the plan is, we'll put the sending unit in the tank, and then put the tank in the car and hook everything up. It sounds simple enough. Let's get it done. All right, let's see if we can't drop this guy in here. Looks pretty good. Got a little sock on it and everything. So, first thing you do is set your O-ring up here. Drop it in. Just like that. It's got a couple little tangs that go in these grooves, just like that. Then you got your lock ring. It's gonna go on here. Sometimes you can kind of get it started with your fingers, kind of like that. And then take a screwdriver and a hammer, tap it around, and there's some nubs. You gotta go past that nub. Right about there. Try to keep it centered. You don't want it to leak. Ta-da! Just like that. You got your ground wire that's going to go to chassis ground, and then you got a light brown wire that's hanging down under there. It snaps onto here, and you should have a functioning fuel level. And like I said, this one's the 3/8 one, so it's good to go. Let's jack the car up, see if we can't get it in there. All right, here we go. I want to probably get this old wiring out of the way first. Get that out of here. I want to clean up this hardware. It's kind of rusty. Somebody welded a bolt to the floor for some reason. I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna cut that off, get that out of here. And then we'll see about putting this thing up here. All right, this ought to be fun to attempt to do by myself. These bolts back in. It's not easy by yourself, that's for sure. Whew. All right, come on under here and take a look. Fuel tank is in. Straps are tight. Everything's up nice and snug. Slide under here. Sending units in. Ground wire is grounded. Fuel filter is connected. That means we have a fuel system all the way to the carburetor now. So that's good. We're connected over here. So that's all right. Now, suspension's in. Bushings and springs done. All the way around. I don't have a transmission yet. Let's not talk about that. Oh, my power wire coming from the gauge. This is going to get replaced when I do the rear harness. I haven't installed it yet, but I got a new one. That's going to come down here and attach right there. So we will have a functioning fuel gauge. So that's good. All the hardware is replaced. Shackles are new. Bushings new. Spring new. Well, new-ish. I think we're done under here for today. I mean, I'd still need to pull the rear end. We're gonna put U-bolts. I wanna put U-bolts, get rid of these little guys and put U-bolts in it when I do the slapper bars. So all that's gonna get redone. The rear end's gonna come out. We're gonna rebuild it. We're gonna put probably 355s or maybe 373s. I haven't decided yet. Gears and a posi. So this is gonna come out. So that's all right. We'll get there. We'll get there. Well, I think I got a lot done this week, considering it's all a bunch of parts I had in the shed. And between the two little Novas and Down and Dirty, I'm really cleaning out that shed. Like, it's all a bunch of stuff I had laying around, but it's, you know, it's getting stuff done. We're making progress, and September's coming fast. So, you know, I got to get it done. So as of right now, I'm about out of parts. So I think that's going to do it for me this week. I really appreciate you guys watching, liking, subscribing, commenting, any of that stuff. Tell your friends. It really helps us out. Next week, I got a little surprise, a little side mission we're gonna get done, and I'm pretty excited about it. So stay tuned. Hit that bell so you know when it comes out. You know, that's what it does. You know, that would be really cool. Anyways, thank you all. See you next time.